Hey, it's LSFT here today, and today I'm here to go over the 18-month service visit that I've done recently and provide my experience on what was done during the service. So before I begin, in Canada, according to the maintenance schedule, we are to bring the vehicle in for a service every 6 months, or 8,000 kilometers, whichever comes first. I know that the service intervals for different markets really are different, and that is why I'm considering to do a video on maintenance service. But I need your help to collect all the different service schedules that are in different markets. So if you would like to help out, please send me the information on your country's service plan for the NX to YouTube at lsft.com. It is greatly appreciated. Without further ado, let's look at the 18-month service, and that's what they called from Lexus Canada service number 1. And service number 1 is actually not an oil change service, but it's more of an inspection type of service. So according to Lexus Canada, service number 1 includes check installation of driver floor mat. It also does inspection of all the lights and the horns to make sure they're properly working. And the next one is inspect wiper blades, linkage, and washers for proper operation. And when you think of it, winter is coming and the wiper blades need to be working as much as possible. So that one is important, but you can do it yourself as well. Check and record the tire thread depth. Examine the tires for any damages or any uneven wear. So this is a security inspection stuff. Remove the wheels and visually inspect the brake pads, calipers, rotors, the brake line, and hoses to make sure everything is functioning. Rotate the tires. Remove and inspect the cabin air filter. Remove and inspect the engine air filter. So inspect for leaks, engine oil leaks, brake fluid leaks, engine coolant, and a bunch of fluid leaks, just to make sure everything is operating as intended. And then visually inspect the hybrid battery cooling intake filter, and if it's dirty, clean it. Also then record anything that they found, any measurements and anything, so that we need to make sure that it's tracked. And also, if there's anything that needs repair, repair it. And then the last thing is to reset the maintenance light so that you don't get annoyed that, oh, I did the service already. How come it's asking me to do it now? Follow me on Instagram at LSFTvideos. You can see updates on my experience with the NX450h Plus, which may not be shown on any future videos. You can also reach out to me via direct messaging if you have any questions on your Lexus. If you like this video, you can provide me feedback in the comments below, like this video, and share it with your friends. This definitely will help me with the YouTube algorithms. Press the subscribe button and bell icon and get notified when new videos show up. And lastly, if you want to support me further, you can provide me a super thanks, which is greatly appreciated. And now let's continue with the video. So when you look at it, a lot of these things can actually be done by yourself. If you know what you're doing, great, you can actually do it yourself. However, then when you actually look at your records of your car, you haven't done it, then that may be another problem when you sell it or whatever, right? So if you have someone who can do it, great. These are all just really looking at the condition of your vehicle, making sure everything is operating as intended and there's no issues driving it. So I think it's one reason is the Canadian winter is not as good. Like it can get pretty harsh, pretty bad, and it's important that we do get this type of inspection, especially if you don't know what you're doing and you don't really detect issues with your car. You only drive it and you don't know if there's issues. Then I think this is a great service for a lot of folks who don't know much about their vehicle. But if you do, you probably can do a lot of that yourself as well. When you go and do your service, they want to make sure your car is safe and at the best condition. And sometimes they will ask you to do some additional work, and if you want to do it or not. A lot of that is preventive maintenance rather than, oh, it's broken, let's fix it. They will actually say, they look at the condition, say, you could probably not need to do it, but maybe you should do it, so that when you will not get a failure when you're on the road driving. Instead, it would be done ahead of time. Some may think it's a cash grab, and sometimes it is. It's an upsell, trying to make sure that you get your car done. Let me know in your comments below. What do you think? When you go to the service, are you afraid that for them to tell you that you need to do a brake service or you need to do something that was not part of the maintenance plan? Would you go and just go ahead and do it? Or you would say, I make note of it. You go to a mom and pop shop or your local mechanic and get them to do it so it's cheaper? Or you just say, ignore it. I'll fix it when it fails. Alright, so the results of this service number 1. First thing is the price. So on the invoice, it actually says it's $269.50 plus taxes. That's extremely expensive for just doing inspection service. For me, I have ECP service, so I have the first 3 years of service included as part of the ECP. But when you really look at the costs, it seems quite high just for like a normal inspection service. It seems to be getting higher and higher. I'm just wondering, will it end up being like $1,000 if you actually had other services to be done? And I think the next service number 3, I think that's when it will actually cost an arm and a leg. So as a result, so what they said is they set the tire pressure to 34 psi. They topped up all the fluids except my gas tank. And they're saying that the front tires are 6 millimeters and the rear tires are 5.75 millimeters. So when I did the measurement, I got about 5.5 millimeters in the front and 6.5 millimeters in the rear. And they did a swap, so they actually rotated my tires. So the 6.5, they measured 6. And I measured 5.5, they actually got 5.75. So it seems like there is a margin of error here, and I don't know who to trust, but overall, it is in that range. So next time, I'll probably do the same. I'll do the measurements and see what they measure and see what does that all mean. But definitely, I will actually get my winter tires swapped around mid-November, and let's see if they're going to do another reading and see what the results are. So the next thing that I've done at the dealership on the same service, the same visit, was the L76. So the L76 Safety Sense update. So that's a software update that was ready for all of us. So I highly suggest people getting it done because I drove down to work one day and I saw that light blink twice, and it means that it does happen. And it may be an issue if you're actually driving with the adaptive cruise control and the front camera couldn't recognize something and it disables. It may be an issue. Since there is a limited service campaign, get it fixed on your next service. Alright, so the next one, I think a lot of people who own the 2022 NX450h Plus will be a little bit more concerned about it and probably would like to have more information. And that is the RF4, the DC to DC converter change. And you know, the weather is getting colder and colder, which means that the risk of a vehicle fire is definitely higher. But my take on that is I've actually driven the car through the whole winter, charged it at minus 20 degrees and everything is good. But it's a precaution, just to make sure that your car doesn't get lit up. One thing that I've actually asked them, and they actually called Lexus Canada, so at this point, there is still no recall, like a remedy that is available for the dealership to do anything. So there's no remedy at this time. It's not released to the dealerships yet. So hopefully Lexus Canada, you need to get your act together and get this to us as soon as possible. Probably they're trying to source the DC to DC converter, the parts, because it needs a part replacement. And I actually was a little bit annoyed because the recall letter actually did say that there is an interim fix. So word for word on the letter, it says, "We are currently in the process of preparing a final remedy for this campaign and will notify you again when it becomes available for your vehicle. Until then," it actually says, it tells us to please make an appointment with your Lexus dealer to have the interim remedy implemented as soon as possible. So I asked the dealer, I asked the service advisor, what is the interim remedy? And they said, there is no interim remedy. So it's like, what on earth is this letter all about? Like, you gave me an interim notice, you told me there's a condition, you told me not to charge it under 5 degrees, and it actually says that there is an interim remedy, but when I go to the dealership, they said there isn't any. So what on earth is this? I'm hoping that by the time I get my winter tires installed that the remedy is available and I can get it fixed. If not, it will start to become, do I charge or not charge? Do I charge it when I can actually monitor it in case there is an issue? I can actually get the fire out. I really don't know what to do. But at this point, I really hope that Lexus Canada gets their act together and start getting these things done. And really, how many NX450h pluses have you sold between the time frame? I'm not sure there's that many. So if there's not that many, probably it's not that hard to source those parts. But hopefully time will tell. I'm hoping that it will be soon and not next year. So regarding the RF4 recall campaign, I had reached out to Lexus Canada and tried to see what else is there. So when we look at it, it says that what they told me, that what they came back was that they say that they confirmed that Lexus Canada has initiated the safety recall RF4 affecting my 2022 Lexus NX450h Plus to resolve an issue related to the DC converter. And they're saying that at this time, Lexus Canada is currently in the process of manufacturing the efficient amount of parts for this recall. We do apologize. However, we do not have a time frame when the remedy will be available. So meaning it's still unknown at this point. Please be assured that we will notify you by first-class mail as soon as the campaign remedy parts are available, at which time you can make an appointment with your dealership to have the recall completed at no cost to you. We trust that this information is helpful, and thank you for taking your time to contact us. So it seems like it's a very generic response coming back saying that, yes, we've initiated it, we're working on it, we're getting the parts, and we don't know when you're going to get it. So that's what's happening at this point. So we probably don't know when it'll be available. It could be November, December, could be next year. No time frame at this point. So the next thing that I've asked them to check, and that is related to the driver mirror vibration. So I've actually told them to check and that the driver mirror vibrates when I'm driving on the highway or on rough roads. And they actually did the inspection and they found that the left side mirror vibrates while driving, and they found that there is a technical service bulletin 5624 and it applies, and that's what they're looking at. So what they've done, so remember I had a video, and if you haven't watched that video on the vibration of the side mirror, you can watch it. I'll put the link here so that you can actually watch that video. So I have a brand new mirror that is installed, and definitely I can tell you that the vibration is actually, I wouldn't say it's gone, but it has improved significantly. It's definitely way better than what it was before. Right now, the vibration is similar to the vibration that I see in the rear mirror, and it's actually not noticeable. So I think this has been resolved with this technical service bulletin, the 5624, but one thing is it does replace your side mirror with a extension of the screw and the assembly of it. I don't know if that includes the plate. It doesn't really say much, but I'm going to start and research the part numbers and see what they have. Alright, so the parts that we're looking at, the one that is ending at 8010, it's only about $10 US dollars. And it doesn't really show what the part is, but it's a $10 part. And then when we look at the other one, the 8020, the ends of for the 4 digits 8020, it's about $30. And that is the extension of the rods that is connected to the assembly. So the most expensive piece is really the mirror assembly. And that one is the part number ending at 8700. That is $1,840.62. That is an extremely expensive mirror. So if you hit that mirror, it's going to cost you almost $2,000 to replace. That hurts. That's a lot of money for that just one mirror. And I think the complexity there is that the mirror actually does have a 360 camera and some sensors, and probably because of the folding motor and all that, that's where the cost is. But it's an expensive part to get replaced. So if you do have the vibration of the mirror, if you do have that symptom, it is ready. And I actually got it done, and it seems to be doing quite well after it's been fixed. So there were two more things. One thing I asked them to check is, again, is there an update on the wireless charger? It seems to be a continuous fight or battle with Lexus Canada on this. So really from what I got from them is, as long as the charger charges your phone without a case, it's working, there's nothing wrong. They really can't do a replacement on it. So again, I'll have to keep on hounding this. They actually said that, they checked with a phone with a thinner case. It works, it can charge. So maybe I need to go and find a thinner case for my phones. And unfortunately, I actually do have the newer phones, and that camera bump is actually getting higher. And yes, any phone, even the 15 Pro Max, it can charge without a case. And when you really think about it, I actually told the service advisor, you have a case on your phone as well. Can it work? Right? Seems to be a long battle trying to get it to actually get replaced, or hopefully they do have a newer one. I've actually seen reports from Facebook groups and other groups saying that they can charge their phones. Really, I actually will probably continue to look for, is there any thinner cases, to see if one of those cases will work. But reality is, there's not that many percent. Like, at least 70% of people who own a phone actually have a case. And I think the problem is how many will actually go without a case. Unless Lexus Canada, you're thinking that all the people who own a Lexus are rich enough to actually say that I don't need a case. When the phone breaks, I'll buy a new one. But when you think of it, an iPhone 15 Pro Max right now is almost $2,000. How many people will actually make sure that they will actually have a case? Not everybody is like Elon Musk having an iPhone with no case. If it crashes, cool, I'll just get a new one. Probably he has one shipped to him once he breaks it. Unfortunately, a lot of Lexus owners are not like that. A lot of us have cases on their phone. And I know there will be some who would not use a case, and I'm saying that you guys are brave, but it is what it is. So, in short, nothing has been done to fix the wireless charger. And the last thing that was done on the vehicle was that I actually had a nail puncture on one of my tires, and it was actually repairable. So this actually would tell you if your tire has a puncture, even a run flat could be repaired. It really depends on where you got the puncture. So they actually repaired my tire, and it was actually repairable. So great. that they found it because I did not get any lights or anything from the TPMS, but maybe it was not leaking much and it was actually running as it should. So with that being said, that was all the things that were done on my vehicle on that trip to Lexus dealership. One thing that before I conclude, I actually got an NX350F Sport 1 as a loaner when I actually got this done. And the car was actually at the dealership for 2 days, because they actually had to source the part for the mirror and they were looking for the DC to DC remedy if there was a remedy. So it took longer than it should. But overall, when you looked at it, they gave me the NX350 F Sport 1 and I drove it and I just felt that, oh, I really miss my 450h Plus. Totally different driving experience, and reality is I don't know if I'm just so used to all the cameras and all the safety features that on a fully loaded NX compared to premium level F Sport 1 level NX, it just felt different. Even accelerating, even being able to control the torque, the turbo lag, all that really just makes that driving experience a little bit different. And on the second day, when they told me that the car was available, I actually told them I'm coming and picking up my car today because I really miss my car. And I'm really not confident in driving the NX350. It just feels a different vehicle overall. So there we have it. Here's my update on the 18-month service. And again, if you have information about your market and what services that you have in your maintenance schedule, let me know and email me the information that you have at youtube@lsfd.com so that I can produce a maintenance schedule and we can actually just talk about it. Which ones are actually important to do? Which ones could actually be opt out? Hopefully that you found that my experience was informative and it will help you with your experience with your dealership. I'm still hounding on the wireless charger, and good that they actually found that I had a nail in one of my tires, and now I'm just waiting for wireless charger and the DC to DC safety recall. Until next video, drive safely. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please comment, like, share this video, and if you want to see more videos like this, you can subscribe to my channel and press that bell icon to get notified when new videos are posted. And if you'd like to support this channel, you can provide me a super thanks. And until next time, cheers.